So 2026 is a year you can hear a lot about new earth, consciousness split or timeline splits, all the things that are happening globally. And like, what are we to do? People feel this pressure, whether they're very involved in it or not. I think everyone's kind of feeling this year of the horse, this quick speed that's happening. But also, I think all of us are sometimes questioning whether their direction things are going in are supportive or not, right? I think we all, no matter what people believe or what viewpoints they're at, I think collectively everyone is feeling this. Are awful things happening? Are things taking place that I can't believe are? Yes, that's true. All of these things are taking place. Well, what are our souls inviting us to align to? There's phases our soul goes through as we evolve and transform. And I believe what's been happening now is that the collective is going through that evolutionary process. And in this evolutionary process, we often have what I'm calling the slumber of the persona, which is we create our persona, often who we identify as, what our roles are. We're a wife, we're a mother, we're a CEO, we're a podcaster, we're this, we're that. And then sometimes we get into this energy that strips away this aspect in some way or another. We have a breakup, a divorce, a career ending, and it begins to question, who are we? And that's what we call the dark night of the soul when we are going on an individual journey of transformation. But now we are beginning to see at this very pivotal time on the planet, a collective awakening. And so in the collective awakening, we're beginning to see falling away of some identities and egos trying to hold on very strictly to the identities that nations have, identities that we all have, identities of how one perceives oneself in a myriad of ways. And then what happens is we have to face our collective shadow. And I think that's what we're going through.
Hello, and welcome back to the Cycle Starters podcast. I'm your host, Heather Rebecca Wilson, and today's conversation is one I've been genuinely excited to share with you. Vanessa Benlolo is back for a second time on the show. I'm so excited, and I could not be more thrilled. Vanessa is the visionary CEO and founder of the Soul Guiding Institute and an internationally recognized soul guide and transformational healer. Over the past decade, Vanessa has supported thousands of people in coming home to their inner wisdom, healing at the root, and living in alignment with their soul's purpose. I'm also so excited to share that Vanessa is our guest teacher inside the Cosmic Awakening Circle for April of 2026. In this episode, we're diving into the energetic transition so many of us can feel right now. The restlessness, the emotional intensity, the sense that old identities are falling away, even when we cannot fully name what is being born in their place. Vanessa is here to hold a grounded, expansive lens on what she calls a quantum energy shift in collective consciousness, and to share how we can meet this moment with clarity, sovereignty, and inner stability. And if you've been around this space for a while, you know that I love to weave in a little galactic astrology. So Vanessa and I have already shared a mini galactic reading together. But later in this conversation, I'm going to circle back with something very specific from her chart. I'm not going to give away anything yet, but I will say this. When we get to her Pluto placement, it opens a powerful doorway into the themes of truth, transformation, and the kind of inner gravity that changes everything. So before we dive in, I have a favor to ask. If you are enjoying the content that we are creating here on the Cycle Starters podcast, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. It really supports the algorithm in getting our podcast in front of more viewers. So thank you in advance for that. I really appreciate the support. So without further ado, let's settle in, take a breath, and just let yourself receive what lands. Vanessa, welcome back to the show. Hi, sis.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I was so excited about today and our time together. I love your energy. I love this podcast and the audience, and I'm grateful to be back in sharing and also grateful to be supporting the community in April as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And thank you so much. Always so grateful to you for your support and for this opportunity to connect with a greater audience as well. Thank you.
Well, honey, thank you. I love your energy too. I am so excited, and I'm really excited to go a little bit deeper into your galactic chart later on. Before we talk about the workshop, can we just give people a little refresher about your ancestral background since this is an ancestral healing slash astrology podcast? Like, give us a little refresher.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am born in Aruba and my mom's side of the family is Venezuelan and Dutch because Aruba was part of the Dutch Antilles before they kind of got their own independence. And so I've got Dutch and Venezuelan ancestry and a bit of indigenous ancestry there too. And then on my dad's side, I've got North African, my grandmother's side on that side. And then my grandfather was born in Melilla, the walled off city of Spain. So I've got that Moroccan. They were raised in France. So there's a lot of mixed ancestry there, but I would say mainly on that side, North African and European. And so I'm kind of, like I said, this melting pot of lineages that make it really easy for me to kind of go anywhere in the world, adapt, connect with many people, many people's walks of life, but also many people's experiences of both not knowing how to identify or not knowing where they fit in. And I think that's part of my purpose is like, I didn't know where to fit in. But in not knowing where to fit in, I found a place to fit in with humanity. And I think that's also a huge piece of my work. And the message is around this aspect of how do we unite humanity? It is really important to connect to our lineages, to understand our ancestry and the gifts, and also work through the traumas of our lineages. But at the end of the day, I mean, we are all human. We are all connected. We are all going through this experience together. And I think that is the beauty of discovering our ancestry is that we're all interconnected in this way.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
of
I'm so
course.
excited for this reading part. Like at the end, by the way, I just want to say that was a bonus I wasn't expecting. So thank you. And I'm grateful for your gifts as well.
Oh, you're so
Yeah.
welcome.
Yes.
My goodness. Okay. Well, so this is your second time on the show. You were on, I don't know, was it like 6 months ago, maybe?
I would say about
I'm
six
not
months ago. Yeah.
sure.
I think we
Yeah. So,
yeah.
yeah. So tell me, what have you been up to since then? What's been going on? How's 2026 been treating you so far?
I mean, it's been great since we last aired. I've been building out a team. So I've to build and launch Soul Guiding Institute. So as many of you know, I've been working with clients one-on-one for the past decade through my work in vanessabenlolo.com. I still support clients in one-on-one work, in deep transformative work, generational healing, aspects like that, where people can learn about that and hear about that in the prior podcast we did. But what I've been doing is I've been basically building Soul Guiding Institute. It's an institute designed to support the collective evolution of humanity and to teach the three skills that I believe humanity needs to thrive in the future, which I see as intuition, emotional intelligence, and energy mastery. I started off the year with a article in Forbes Mexico, so that was really amazing. Last year I also was in Voyage LA, just like yourself. I spoke at U of T about the energetics of creation. I went to Madrid and met my half brother. What else has happened? I don't even know. I went to Mexico and did a Temazcal, which is a sweat lodge. I do them regularly here in BC, but I did one there. I had my Mayan calendar read that showed me that I'm doing exactly what I came here to do. I did a sound healing that I do often, but I did it with a practitioner there that showed me how quickly everything was going to be happening this year. I felt my ancestors around me just like sharing with me, like, Vanessa, just go because this year everything's going to go quickly. So that's been happening. And I am teaching Spirit Baby Intuitive for the fourth time. So that's the course to connect with the spirit of children who are not yet born to guide their parents on their evolutionary journey. And that starts May 7th. So I've been kind of building that out and I'm hoping to launch the official website for Soul Guiding Institute around May time. So It's kind of what I've been up to since we last spoke. I know it's a lot, but I've been feeling really inspired and creative. And as we're talking today about this collective shift and what's happening on the planet, this is a year where that support is needed by others.
Oh my gosh, you are doing a lot, but it doesn't surprise me at all. You're so brilliant and you're doing so many cool things in the world. So, just so excited to have you. I'm so excited to know you. Let's talk about this workshop that you're going to be teaching in the Cosmic Awakening Circle in April. So, for those of you who are new to the show, I am an ancestral healing guide, and I have a monthly membership called the Cosmic Awakening Circle. And it's a sacred space for cycle breakers and cycle starters to alchemize ancestral wounds into creative potential, shifts to higher consciousness, embodied joy, and really it's a space for them to activate their spiritual gifts, which tends to be the outcome of doing ancestral healing work. By the way, it's a space for us to do that together and then also bring in our star ancestry. Last year I got a certification in quantum soul guidance, galactic astrology, because I felt really called to expand my notion of ancestors, right? To go beyond blood ancestors and really explore our galactic influences and the multidimensional frequencies that are actually available to us when we can expand like that. That's my membership. Vanessa has just so graciously and generously agreed to prepare an experience for us. And this is happening, by the way, on April 21st at 8 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. PST. And the title of this workshop is called Quantum Energy Shift for Humanity's Soul Alignment. And I wanted Vanessa to come on here today to kind of give us a primer on what to expect and how folks can prepare to get the most out of the experience. So, Vanessa, take it away. What should we know?
So I created this offering because Heather so graciously invited me into the container to provide something that I thought would be valuable and supportive for the collective and for the community at this time. And the reason why I chose to guide everyone through a a quantum shift, basically an energetic shift, is because that is what our souls are inviting us into as a humanity at this time. So 2026 is a year, you can hear a lot about new earth, consciousness split or timeline splits. You can hear a lot about all the things that are happening globally, right? And what are we to do? People feel this pressure, whether they're very involved in it or not. I think everyone's kind of feeling this year of the horse, right? This quick speed that's happening, but also I think all of us are sometimes questioning whether the direction things are going in are supportive or not, right? I think we all, no matter what people believe or what viewpoints they're at, I think collectively everyone is feeling this. And so the experience that I'm creating to guide all of you in is designed to speak about what is taking place, not in are awful things happening or things taking place that I can't believe are. Yes, that's true. And it's like all of these things are taking place. Well, where are our souls inviting us to align to? And I feel like we're in this moment where if you look at the talking about when Heather asked me, what have I been up to? I've been creating what I've call the foundational framework for Soul Guiding Institute in a way that I can teach it, which is like the soul's evolutionary map. There's phases our soul goes through as we evolve and transform. And I believe what's been happening, I've been supporting clients for 10 years to do that individually. But I feel like what's happening now is that the collective is going through that evolutionary process. And in this evolutionary process, we often have what I'm calling the slumber of the persona, which is like we create our persona, often who we identify as, what our roles are. We're a wife, we're a mother, we're a CEO, we're a podcaster, we're this, we're that. And then sometimes we get into this energy that strips away this aspect in some way or another. We have a breakup, a divorce, a career ending, and it begins to question who are we, right? And that's what we call the dark night of the soul, when we are going on an individual journey of transformation. But now we are beginning to see at this very pivotal time on the planet a collective awakening. And so, in the collective awakening, we're beginning to see falling away of some identities and egos trying to hold on very strictly to the identities that we have. Identities that nations have, identities that we all have, identities of how one perceives oneself in a myriad of ways. And then what happens is we have to face our collective shadow. And I think that's what we're going through. And in that period of shadow work, it's difficult. It's not easy. And we need a guide, or we need someone, or it's easier if we have someone to support us through that time to this place that is able to be created through it. And I think through what we're all experiencing collectively, we can come to a place of true freedom and sovereignty. And so, this quantum energy shift for soul alignment that I'm going to be guiding you through. So when you join and you attend, it's going to be this, what I just shared might feel very like heady or could be political. It's not going to be political, just, could be heady, could be all this. It's not any of that. I'm just giving you the reasons why I decided to offer this specifically of all the things I could do. Is I'm going to take you through a guided journey that's literally going to shift your energy. Quantum energy is the foundational energy unit, and we're all energy. Everything is energy. Everything's created from energy. Everything shifts and starts from there. And so I'm going to be guiding you through an actual journey. It's going to feel like a guided meditation. So if you're familiar with that, it's going to feel that way. But then in it, I'm going to offer an activation. So we're going to take you through a guided journey. Then there's going to be an activation of energy and a clear insight that you receive for yourself around your own soul path, because we all have our own gifts, our own talents, our own soul's mission, and what we came here for. And in this collective awakening, we need every single person to be living in what they came here to do. And that's really my intention for what I'm offering, is a vehicle, an experience, an immersive experience in which you get to actually become aware of why you're really here on the planet and what it is that you're meant to do and how you're meant to serve in this pivotal time of transformation for all of us. So that's
Beautiful.
really what I'm doing. Yeah, I know that was long-winded, but
No,
wanted to
good.
give all the details there.
Well, so I'm so excited for this. And again, thank you for putting this together. What should people bring? A notebook, anything? Like, what,
I
what,
think the
what would you
best
tell
things to
them?
bring are a journal for sure, like a notebook, a pen if you want to write after, or if you want to take notes when I'm teaching a little bit more about the collective and what's taking place. A blanket, maybe, if you want to lie down, a pillow, like a space to be comfortable. So comfortable clothes. Maybe you want to lie down for the activation and the a quantum healing piece. So you want to be in a comfortable space, in a space where you have privacy, silence, where if you have animals or kids, they're gonna be like running into the room where you can have a sacred space for yourself, and then some water, because energy work can be really dehydrating. And so you just want to have some water with you, so that you can hydrate as you need, likely after it.
Perfect. So, if you are interested in participating in this experience, I will put the link in the show notes below, but you can always go to heatherrebeccawilson.com to get that information. The Cosmic Awakening Circle is my paid monthly membership. I do have a free membership called the Cycle Starter Sanctuary, where you get access to my community space. You get on my mailing list where I send weekly ish newsletters and whatnot, and you'll get a heads up on all the events. And then every month in the Cosmic Awakening Circle, we have an amazing guest teacher come in who specializes in, different healing modalities. So, yeah, I'm just so grateful that Vanessa is going to be our April 2026 teacher. So, again, if you're interested, you can go to heatherrebeccawilson.com, or you can check out the link in the show notes below. And then, of course, I will put Vanessa's links in those show notes as well if you want to get in contact with her for any reason. So, Are you ready to talk some galactic astrology, my
I
sister?
am. I love that this surprise gift, so I'm really grateful. I'm excited to talk about it for sure.
Yay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, so galactic astrology, just so folks out there understand this, it just adds an outer layer to your natal chart of fixed stars, nebulas, and super cosmic points. And it allows us to look at your soul's journey over eons of time. So we're looking not only at past lives on Earth, but we're looking at past lives off planet. And so, if you saw the last episode with Vanessa, you will know that she is multi galactic. She has many, many galactic placements. But today, for this reading, I wanted to go a little bit deeper into her Pluto placement. And Pluto is a really, really interesting planet insofar as in our natal chart, in our birth chart, it shows us basically like what we don't want other people to know about us. It's the planet of power dynamics, deep transformation, and it shows us where we have to die and be reborn in order to evolve and transform. And so your Pluto, my dear, is at
I'm almost
0.
scared to hear it. I'm almost scared to hear it. I'm not gonna
No!
lie.
No, no, this is exciting. This is
I know it's gonna
exciting.
be good, but I'm like, death and transformation, I've done that like 100 times in this life.
I mean, I think this really speaks to the offering that you've actually prepared and all of the work that you're doing. So your Pluto is at 0 degrees
Okay.
Scorpio. And Scorpio is the sign of deep transformation, right? Of death and rebirth, of sex, the occult, power dynamics. So Pluto is really strong in this sign and it's at 0. It's actually at 0.16 degrees, but that's basically like the starting degree of Scorpio. So it's pure Scorpio, which we know is super, super intense. And the reason I wanted to focus in on this, in addition to everything that I just said, is because your Pluto is conjunct the Shapley Attractor, which is a gravitational anomaly that is associated with unprecedented influence behind the scenes. So you'll see politicians, world leaders will have an activation to Shapley in their chart. So one example of this would be Hillary Clinton. Okay. So there's something that I feel in your field that is just rare and undeniable with this conjunction here. Pluto is not the planet of surface level change. It's the part of us that can stand in the fire, that can tell the truth and let what is false fall away.
Mhm.
It's the deep intelligence that says we are not here to perform healing, we are here to become it. And then
Yes.
there's Shapley, okay?
God, I'm getting
Astronomers,
goosebumps, Heather.
yes,
When you do this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is my life. Thank you for affirming.
that's what I'm here
Yes.
for. So Shapley is still being studied by astronomers because in some ways it behaves like a black hole and then many other ways it doesn't. And I can't even tell you how big this gravitational anomaly is. It's so, so vast. It's a hidden center of pull, of attraction. And like I said, a kind of unprecedented power behind the scenes that shapes the motion from a place most people never see. And so, what I see for you is that you carry this very quiet gravity. It's not loud, it's not performative, it doesn't need to prove itself. Your presence has a way of reorganizing what is around you. And people come into contact with you, and something in them remembers what is real. And the people part is really important because this Pluto conjunct Shapley is in your seventh house of partnerships. So it's not just romantic relationships, it's business partners, it's creative partners, it could potentially be clients as well. But it's basically the house of how you relate to people that you perceive to be your equal. So it's also the house of open enemies, by the way, too. So it's just
Yeah.
it's very relational. It's relationships. And
I can
so
I can relate to what you're saying, like, I can relate to a lot, like, that warrior energy of, like, standing in the truth, but it's quiet at the same time, like, I'm definitely that, and I think Soul Guiding Institute, the intention of it, honestly, is to help people remain human because we're gonna be living in a world where people opt out of being human, like, I studied biological engineering. Some of your audience may know that, may not know that. It's like there's going to be a lot of things technology wise with health connected to it that are going to have people forget about the beauty of being human and feel that there's something greater than that when that is one of the big reasons why I'm starting Soul Guiding Institute is for people to really remember who they are. And that's something that you mentioned there and that this piece around like relational, I'm curious to hear more because I don't want to comment on that yet until you tell me more because I'm like, okay.
well, the way that you relate to people, it's not power over,
No, never.
it's power within, right? It's power with, which I think is part of this shift that we're going through from the 3D to the 5D. This is the power that comes from meeting the shadow without making it your identity. This is the power that comes from being willing to evolve again and again, right? I think you even have like a Scorpio stellium in your chart. So there's a
I
lot
do.
of intensity in your life.
I'm intense.
Yes, yes.
But I'm
And
full in, like, it's like, I'm like your friend, I'm like solid, if I'm like your
yes.
guide as many work with me, like, I always tell my clients, there's absolutely nothing you can tell me that is gonna make me, like, not be able to, like, hold space, be here for it. I've heard it all. Sometimes I've lived a lot of it all as well myself too, and so I'm, like, here without judgment, and also that piece that's really important is like, I'm not here to be someone's guru because it's not me. That's why I called it guide, like becoming a soul guide or soul guiding sessions, because I am here as a guide, making it easier for you to access what your soul's already sharing with you. It's all within you, it's not me. And that's a very important thing because I think when we put gurus on a pedestal, that's a disempowered place in which people can't actually heal from. And I think we're seeing that also with some gurus falling away or we're aware that they are human, right? Just like we
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's very Neptune leaving Pisces, where Neptune is
Mhm.
exalted. Neptune is the planet of spirituality, but also the planet of like where we want to merge with everything. So it can be connected to addiction in a way as well. And Pisces is mutable water. It's like water without a container, water that seeps into everything that it touches. So it's very dreamy, it's very romantic, it's very spiritual. It's arguably the closest to the veil of any sign. But then
Mhm.
the lower expression of Pisces is victimhood, right? Giving our power away, right? And so I think with Neptune and Pisces for the past 14 years, we've elevated a lot of gurus. And when Neptune moved into Aries very
Mhm.
recently,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was already happening in Pisces, right?
It
We've
was.
gotten to see like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like
We saw lots.
these people are human. So, just going back to this Pluto placement, Pluto in Scorpio is already intense, but Pluto conjunct Shapley is super intense because it's not asking for little small adjustments. It's asking for total integrity. It's asking you to become the kind of guide that doesn't just teach transformation, but embodies it. And the truth of what that means, I think, is that you have likely walked through initiations that have made you stronger,
Yes.
clearer, and more sovereign. You have learned discernment in your life. You have learned how to feel power in the body without turning it into control. You have learned to stand in the unknown and still trust your inner knowing.
Yeah. I'm literally going to cry. It's like, yeah, it's true. And that's really beautiful. Thank you. But yeah, it's that's exactly the truth. Like, so yeah, I know. I'll be collected.
No, it's totally fine. Thank you for sharing that. And this is really, touching for me too, because I love sharing astrology with people as a tool for empowerment and healing.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you've ever felt that unmistakable pull to go deeper, to shed what no longer fits, to stop living a life that is fine and start living a life that is true, that's the invitation of Pluto. And so, I think your work in the world carries a behind the scenes force that helps people access their own, not because you take their power, as we've discussed, but because your presence mirrors it back to them. And so your medicine is not only what you do, your medicine is who you have become. And that gravitational pull in your chart, it's not here to collapse you, it's here to align you, to bring you into the deepest version of your purpose. So I honor your Pluto. I honor your capacity for rebirth, and I honor your devotion to truth. And I honor this Shapley influence, this Shapley current inside of you. It's this unseen strength that moves worlds, but it's quietly, right? It does it powerfully and with this profound impact. So that's just a little taste, an additional taste of all of the galactic placements in your chart. And I know, you know, we've been talking this whole time, but tell me, like, how are you feeling right now? How's this
I
landing?
would say like the first word I feel is just moved. It's so interesting every time you do the galactic astrology. I've had a lot of astrology readings by great astrologers, and there's just an element of this that speaks to a deeper truth. And that piece you were talking about, this Pluto and the Chapley, I'll have to look more about that up later. But about seeking truth and being the embodiment of my work. I live such a life of integrity, try my ultimate best, like in every way possible. And so to understand where that comes from too, that's kind of innate because it feels that way to me. But I think this search for truth actually was what led me on this path since I was 8 years old. I had a moment because my dad's and my mom split when I was young, but my mom remarried and I moved to the US. I lived in New Jersey for about 8 years. That's where I learned English actually. And in being there, there was some issues in their relationship. I'm not going to share that because obviously I don't have their permission, but what was happening for them was making me question not what life is about. Like, I wasn't suicidal by any means because I've always known I'm here for a reason, so don't interpret it that way, what I'm about to say. But basically, I was like 8 years old, sitting in the bathroom, thinking to myself, like, what what is this? Why are we here? I don't like what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing as an 8-year-old child. And I just thought to myself, like, why is this taking place? What is this? And I don't like it. And I don't want to be here. I don't like it. And what I heard, and now I know this as two star beings, and knowing I'm like a galactic ambassador, I'm like, did galactic beings come to visit me to be like, girl, you're good? So basically
Probably,
they
yes.
came out. And they did. They
Yeah.
did. They're star people. I know that now. I saw them as two tall beings filled with stars. They said to me, Vanessa, this is all an illusion. And I said, well, what do you mean? Because also the word illusion was kind of new because English was kind of new. So I'm like, what do you mean it's an illusion? And they said, Vanessa, this is like playing a video game. I'm like, I hate playing video games. Like I was like a kid that hated playing video games. I still don't like them. And I'm like, playing a video game, like who decided that this is what I was going to be doing? Like, I don't want to do this. And then I got so frightened. I never saw them again till much later. Right. But that pivotal moment in my life started me on this quest of like, what is the truth? What is the truth of our existence? Why are we here? And what makes us who we really are? And I think that really was this journey of the depths of all of the exploration I've been doing my whole life that's led me to do what I'm doing. And it's interesting because we talked about Pluto and these relational aspects. I'll open up and be very honest. I am that person that holds space for everyone. I can do that. And I find sometimes, like, yes, I'm an intense person in my own life and with my own self. And I find that I have gone through a lot of trials and tribulations of understanding those power dynamics. And the reason why myself, like, as a healer and as a guide, doesn't want to be someone that's like, I am above you, is because I have had experiences where I've been supported, mentored, taught by others who have made it a point to make sure that I knew that they were above me. And I'm so grateful for those experiences. And I'm not a victim like to it, right? I'm so grateful because these things have taught me how to hold space for someone in trusting what is within, in remembering like what is within oneself. And so I think those that are listening to this, like, can just see genuinely, like, I didn't know Heather was going to be so generous today and give me this beautiful gift of understanding myself more deeply. But with that, I feel like you can see the power of this gift that Heather brings of being able to look at one's galactic chart and what it really offers. It's like very moving. So I feel very moved by this kind gesture of you sharing with me more today.
Oh my
Thank you.
goodness.
Yeah, I
My
feel really moved.
pleasure. It's
Yeah,
so fun for me. This is my favorite thing to do, as you know, look at
I can
people's
see why.
charts. Yeah, no, I love it so much. Oh my gosh. Well, at some point, I really want to give you the full reading. So
Yes,
we're going to
we
make
will
this
plan
happen
that.
at some
I
point.
want to do it too.
I
Clearly, I'm
trust.
like, there's so much.
I
Like,
know.
oh my gosh, it's so supportive. Yes, thank
Yes,
you.
and especially for you, like you oh my
Yeah,
gosh, so many galactic connections, but I trust in divine timing with all of these things,
always.
so it's
Yes,
gonna happen when it's supposed to
yes,
happen.
yes.
Well, where can people find you if they wanna learn more, if they wanna work with you, if they wanna learn more about the Soul Guiding Institute? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Yeah, so if clients want to work with me one on one in my offerings, if you want to be supported by me in soul guiding sessions or doing generational healing work or somatic work, or even if you want to find your purpose to live the embodiment from within our purpose, you can do that through vanessabenlolo.com. And if you want to know more about the Soul Guiding Institute, like I said, it's going to launch later this year, but there's a landing page. Well, that is www.soulguidinginstitute.com. It's guiding. Some people wonder if it's soul guides, but it's guiding, soul guiding institute.com, and you can put in your name and your email address there and you'll be notified when we launch. And that's also the only place to learn about the upcoming retreats I'm going to have. So I'm going to have a retreat in October on Salt Spring Island. I'm going to be launching other training courses. So Spirit Baby Intuitive starts May 7th. I'm currently teaching a course called Oracle Baddie. It's about awakening your intuition.
Love that.
And yeah, and so I'm teaching that and I'm going to be teaching it again just because so many people are loving it and wanting to do it again. So that email list, if you go to soulguidinginstitute.com, is where to find out about these other trainings that are up and coming. And I'm hoping to also teach Soul Guide Level 1 for the first time ever this year as well. And so that email list is your first access to knowing basically everything that we're doing and creating and building in Soul Guiding Institute.
Perfect. All
Yes.
right, my love. This has been such an amazing conversation. I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked you at the end of our first episode that we did together, just to see if anything's changed, if anything's evolved. What cycles do you feel like you're starting in your lineages?
I think the answer is different because I can't remember my last answer,
Hmm.
but the answer now is the cycle of being empowered in the gifts and the insight that we have to share. Because I feel like my family is very wise. I spoke about this more in the previous podcast, but about intuition as inheritance, right? My feminine lineage is so powerful intuitively, is so gifted, so wise, but it's always been hidden and suppressed, and we haven't stepped in fully. And I think what I'm starting is both this ability to step forward into it and share, and in that, allow myself to be supported by others because our lineage is very like strong women, we do it ourselves, if that makes sense. And we just keep going. We just do it ourselves. And sometimes our family lineage is so funny. When we were little, it's like, oh, can you take out the garbage? If we didn't like jump on it right away, my grandma's like, I got it myself. And so it was just like a little bit like that. And now it's learning, hey, to receive support because in building Soul Guiding Institute, I've had to allow myself to be supported by others in building it. And that is very different for the feminine line. So I would say those are the two things, are voice, sharing, and allowing ourselves to receive help and to be supported.
Thank you, sis. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh my gosh. I am so proud and still very excited to know you. I love the work that you're doing in the world. I love your energy. Keep going. Make sure you rest though. I want to make sure that you do not get sick. I do not want you burning out. You are not allowed to burn out. And I hope that we can see each other in person at some point. So please let me know when you're in
Really great.
LA, okay? So we can do
Yes.
something fun together.
Absolutely. Thank you, Heather, always for having me on. Thank you for your beautiful gifts and your insight. Like, are so moving and so supportive. And even in that way, too, me allowing like myself to be supported in this way, like open, vulnerable, honest. Um, I appreciate your gifts so much. And thank you for always inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share with your audience and to share my work in the world through doing so. So thank you so much, love. And I can't wait. Like when I'm in LA, I will for sure reach out, and so we can like do something fun together, maybe in nature.
Yes, I would love that. And so don't forget, Vanessa's workshop is happening April 21st. I will put the link in the show notes. You can also just go to heatherrebeccawilson.com to learn about the different levels of membership and learn more about her workshop. So thanks, everyone. Thank you, Vanessa. We will see you next time on the Cycle Starters podcast. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.